Okay, let's have a look at our second chunk. In this chunk, we're going to display the data, as it's up here, display the data in a frequency table, and then we're going to, in a frequency histogram polygon, and then we're going to talk about its shape. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just putting this data in here. I'm having a quick look at the data. I can see a 3 as my smallest. I can see a 9 as my biggest. So I'm going to list my scores, write them in here: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do a tally, so I'm going to cross them off as I go and just put the tally in there. I'm going to be quiet as I do it. Okay, so there we go. I've got my data in there. Frequency, I've got 5 threes, 6 fours, 4 fives, 2 sixes, 1 7, 1 9. Then I'm going to add them up. 6 5 and 6 is 11, 15, 17, 18, 19. And I'm going to check to make sure that that's right. I'm going to count. 19, which is good. I really didn't want to stuff that up. Okay, now it's told us to make this histogram. It's said to use a ruler. I'll have a go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this and I'm going to do it with a ruler. And what I'm doing is I'm just making my columns the same height as these things. So you won't, that's nothing you guys don't know about. Okay, so what I've done first of all is I've done my histogram. So I've just done columns of the height equal to my frequency. Now you'll notice that this one is 0. And so on the 8, I haven't got a column. I could have drawn a line across the bottom in green, I guess, if I really wanted to make it 0 height, but I haven't. So now I've got my frequency histogram. I will do a frequency polygon as well. I'm going to pause when I do that as well. Okay, there's my frequency polygon, and to tell you the truth, I probably could have done that straight up freehand rather than using the ruler. First thing I did was put the dot in the middle of all of my columns to represent the data. Then I put a dot right back down on that horizontal axis, remember, right down at 0, which is that half column I passed. And then that's given me my, my polygon, which is not a smooth thing, but it is, you can use the polygon pretty easily. If we were actually making it, we'd make something like a curve. So we'd actually sort of go, whoops, like, well, there you go, not like what I've done. Something like that. Okay, so now when we're looking at it, we're looking for which way the tail is. So if this is our mode, and we've got a tail to the right, so we can imagine that there's been some high scores added here. And so that's positive. So we've got the above is positively, I can't fit in positively, I'm just going to write plus positively skewed. So that's our first one on the distribution table. The sixth one is doing our stem and leaf, reminding ourselves of how we do those. You've got some down here to do, so I'm going to do this one up here as well. First of all, we put the data in on the left, that's our raw data, and the one on the right is to put our ordered data in. So we're going to do the same thing, look for our stems. I can see a 40s and I can see a 75. So they go from 4, 40, 50, 60, 70. In the first place, I'm putting them in 67, so a 6 and a 7. 72, 7 and a 2. Again, I'm going to be quite, make sure when you're putting them in that you do it relatively neat, that you get them on top of each other. Now, you actually get the shape from the raw because the shape's not going to change anyway, but we will still do what we need to do, which is put them in order. So we're going to rewrite them just for practice, but as I said, you can actually answer your question now because ordering it doesn't change the shape. Anyway, let's do them in order. 0, 2, 1 and 9 are okay. Now the smallest number is 0, then we have a 3, a 6 and 2 7s, and the other one is in order 2, 5, 5. If I decide that I'm going to draw a lovely shape across the top of those, I'm going to have something that goes like, say, that. This point here is my mode, which is the most popular. This is the left. If I spin this, if you turn your tablet left, that's the side, that's longer there. So it's longer there, so it's like we've had some negative marks put down the bottom. So that is negatively skewed. All right, so that's the end of this particular little video. I'm going to leave you to have a go at the rest of these questions. There's a dot plot down here as well. You should remember how to put the dot plot in there. With a dot plot, you're just telling it like you do. You're going to end up with dots in particular numbers. I guess you're going to range your numbers from smallest to biggest across there. All right, have a go.